Last time on One Piece, the odd team of Jinbei, Chopper, Luffy, and Jewelry Bonnie have explored the land of the future, Egghead, eating its food and dressing in its breezy wear. Unfortunately, as it turns out, you need to pay for these things. Apparently, the future doesn't come with the labels that say "pay here," which ended up getting them chased by a Kuma pacifista police officer who went on the attack with excessive force. I'm talking RoboCop levels of excessive force. And while Luffy was ready to put this Kuma in the scrap bin, Bonnie was having none of it, as she did not wish to see her father assaulted, even if it was just a copy, which netted the group in some big trouble in Little Egghead. Meanwhile, somewhere in the Grand Line, we see Blackbeard versus Law. Yes, the collection of the core Blackbeard members, all with new Devil Fruit ability. Doc Q with the Sick Fruit, Stronger with the Horse Fruit model Pegasus, Van Augur with the Warp Fruit, Jesus Burgess with the Strong Fruit, assaulting the Heart Pirates, forcing them to a nearby island, as Edward Teach, real name of Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach, is after Law's poneglyphs. And he should have them. You defeated a Yonko, didn't you? And with Law more than likely having all the ones that Blackbeard would need, will Law and the Heart Pirates manage to survive this encounter? Or is this heart about to be shot through? And you're to blame. You give love a bad name. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, so come aboard, ye swabbies, won't you? Alright, so, the answer to who those mysterious figures who previously arrived at Cacao Island is finally answered. It was none other than Kuzan and Van Augur. And, well, read this. One Piece chapter 1064, Egghead Labophase? Weird. Germa 66's and the Motionless Excursion, Volume 22. Blackbeard Pirates, Kuzan and Augur. So, it's officially been declared. Kuzan is a member of the Blackbeard Pirate. More than likely, the 10th Titanic captain, I would think. Man, imagine having a former admiral and making him a lackey. And it seems as though they've kidnapped Pudding, more than likely to force her to read the poneglyph. It's interesting too, because it looks like, well, Sanji just might have to save Pudding. But it is odd. Kuzan going along with this. I wonder what the endgame is here. Alright, we pick up in the fight of Blackbeard and his forces against Law and his. Blackbeard is riding atop Stronger. Well, I would say riding atop Doc Q, who is riding atop Stronger, as they fly through the air. Blackbeard ready to unleash the power of his Quake fruit, or Tremor fruit, whatever it's called. Blackbeard goes, "Zeh-ha-ha-ha! Run all ya like, there'll be no escape!" Law commands his men, "Hakugan, take the Polar Tang." And you see the guy in the mask saying, "Got it. I've been wondering for the longest time what that guy's name is. He is one of the most notable members, because you always see him." So the helmsman, "Hakugan." Gotcha. Nice. Law then tells the others, "Sachi, Penguin, into the sea." They say, "Sure thing." Oh, okay. And then he uses Reroom, amputate. And then he just slices Stronger right in half. And Stronger's like, "Nay?" Like, what? And we can see it later that Law had managed to create a room around them and not in his vicinity. Blackbeard's taken off guard saying, "I didn't hear that your powers could do that. Is that an awakened technique?" And then he says, "Take this then, Tremor Crush!" And he just hits the air with his powers, which causes the entire island the Heart Pirates are on to just shake, rattle, and roll, baby. Meanwhile, because Stronger has been, cut, Stronger can no longer stay aloft. And so Stronger, Doc Q, and Blackbeard are plummeting through the air, while the Heart Pirates are just doing their damnedest to stand up against Blackbeard's shockwave attack. That was actually a good plan, because it made several of them immobile, as the Heart Pirates cry out, "It's a shockwave from the Quake Man!" And Doc Q calls out, "No, damn it, are you dead, Stronger?" Stronger says, "Nay, Too bad, you were a good horse. Now, Stronger's still alive, damn it. But Doc Q throws his exploding apples at the heart pirates, who run away saying, look out for the exploding apples! What the heck? What the heck is that? Okay, I officially have to take back everything I said about the heart pirate. So you see Sachi underwater, he takes a big old gulp, breaches the water, and as far as I can tell, shoots out water bullets. I think this would explain why we've never seen Sachi that good fighting on land. He's only good in the water, which, I mean, pirates, not as good as you need to be. And he manages to detonate the explosive apples before they can hit anyone, much to the surprise of Doc Q. And Sachi says, phew, don't mess with folks born and raised in the frigid North Blueport. You won't get the best of us in a sea battle. We'll sink that ship of yours. And we see Sachi and Penguin, I think, heading to the Saber of Zebek. Dang. Okay. Oh. Sachi and Penguin, okay. Why didn't we see this before? Meanwhile, Beppo seems to hear something because he's got his paws up to his ears. It says, John Bart, snipers at 3 o'clock. Protect the captain. John Bart just says, I've got him, and just blocks an incoming blast. He's literally got Law's back. Just tanks the hit as Law calls out, K-Room, and coats his sword with his power. Van Augur simply says, well, tough guard to break. And Law unleashes his shock wile and just manages to pierce Blackbeard midair. And Blackbeard's just like, what is this? And then next thing you know, and is hit by the shockwave, doing massive internal damage. And Blackbeard looks like he is out. He's just falling midair. Van Augur sees this and says, this is what happens when you charge in without a plan. Warp. It goes to show that Blackbeard is very much like Luffy. Van Augur just pops up right next to Blackbeard, so Van Augur can warp other people as well as himself. Either that or he can only warp himself with bringing other people along. That might be it. So Van Augur pops up next to Blackbeard mid-air, mind you, and he asks, shall we return to the ship, Commodore? Blackbeard wakes up and says, no, you fool, stay on the offensive. And either Van Augur warps Blackbeard to the ground or Blackbeard finally hits the ground. As the Heart Pirates call out, it's Blackbeard! And Law, he's just ready to throw down. This is actually pretty incredible. I was expecting a cutaway, but we're getting a friggin' straight up fight. Hell yeah! Law asks him, so all of your officers have powers now? And Blackbeard's just... Wait, I need to catch my breath. And Law says, which means they all share the same weakness, the sea. Which a lot of people were saying previously too. But Blackbeard just says, but the benefits are worth the risk. That's how the devil fruits work. Meanwhile, aboard what I assume is the Saber of Zebek, which, it used to be like 3 logs, massive logs together, but now it looks like they finally crafted an actual ship. Were those logs from before just 3 massive stalks of Adam's wood and they were just waiting for someone to actually just make something out of those? That's what I feel like that might be. And you hear the Blackbeard pirates, the minor riffraff calling out, an attack from the water! They're trying to sink our ship! I didn't know they were good at fighting in the water. And you see just Shachi and Penguin just literally just swimming through the seas, just that explains so much why we have never seen them good at fighting on land. They are the most beneficial underwater. That is hype. And you see the Polar Tang just right behind Sachi and Penguin. God, that explains so much about their names too. Meanwhile, and this is the first time we've seen something that happened in the cover page directly correlate with something in the actual chapter. Because you see Pudding being held aboard the ship, which might be bad because that might mean that Kuzan is also here. Ooh. Well, you see aboard the Blackbeard ship, which I still am assuming is the Saber of Zebek, with the people jailing Pudding saying, we're experiencing a little attack-related turbulence. But it'll pass soon. Our Commodore's the greatest. And Pudding just smiles a confident smile, but is might be that she's putting on a brave face. She says, if Mama's still alive, you won't be talking much longer. And the guy just says, yeah. Well, the guy we're fighting now is the one who killed Big Mom. How's a new era supposed to get going if all the old legends are still kicking around? Yeah, that is kind of a sucky situation for Pudding. Poor Pudding. The guy who kidnapped you facing off against the guy who apparently killed Big Mom. And you see a massive clash between Law and Blackbeard. But then something takes Law off guard as Blackbeard activates that one technique that seemed to really put the screws to Ace last time we saw it. Black vortex, and darkness emanates from Blackbeard's hand. And then you have a report going to Akainu at Winter Island in the New World. Blackbeard, the Emperor has made contact with Trafalgar Law. I guess I should just call him Sakazuki. Says, and here I am once again, waiting for a fight to conclude. Nobody told me that being Fleet Admiral would be so frustrating. Yeah, I mean, you're doing the same thing you do in most One Piece movies. Sitting at a desk, hearing the news, and getting mad about it. Like, every time. Meanwhile, on Future Island Egghead, you see a lot of destruction, the people around just yammering and chattering, and the Kuma bot just there, stoic, not doing much of anything, with them saying, looks like the Pacifista came to a screeching halt. And you can see that Luffy, Bonnie, Jinbei, and Chopper have all been affected, more than likely by Bonnie's aging ability, probably so they could get away, which is how Bonnie usually uses her abilities. Luffy has been aged to age 70, but it's noted it's for a different future, not the one that we've seen Oda depict him as. And you see him just relaxing on a couch next to Bonnie saying, anyway, Bonnie, could you have picked a better age to disguise me as? Plus, I get how you feel, but it ain't really him. If you can't let me beat those ones up, we're gonna be in danger. And Bonnie's just sulking, not really having anything to say. Chopper says, be nice, Luffy. Sure, Bonnie. Sorry, Bonnie. It's just that we've been through some bad experiences with pacifistas. Jinbei, who's now a little kid, says, so the original was a human, and this is a clone of him. It makes sense that he'd have family. And Chopper then says, can you turn me back too? Jinbei then says, if you don't mind me saying this, Bonnie, here's what I know about Kuma. He started off as a wicked king of the Sorbet Kingdom until the people drove him off and he became a pirate. And Jinbei just has this image of, well, Kuma as a tyrant. Bonnie doesn't say anything at first, and then Jinbei continues, saying he was affiliated with the Revolutionary Army too, until the Navy captured him and sentenced him to life imprisonment. But Vegapunk was enamored with his muscle and latent ability, so in exchange for taking part in body augmentation and clone development, Kuma was allowed to return to freedom as a warlord of the sea. Do I have that right? Bonnie then takes something out of the rubble and, is that a friggin' lightsaber? Bonnie says, the warlord and clone soldier development I can understand. But being turned into a cyborg might as well be a death sentence. Who would ever make such a deal if they knew the consequences from the start? Jinbei says, that's true, but life in prison is a heavy sentence. How many crimes must Kuma the Tyrant have committed? Bonnie taking the saber and just striking at nothing in particular. Oh no, it looks like she tried to hit Luffy and Chopper. Bonnie says, my father was not a tyrant. He hated the world government. He would never work for them. They experimented on him by force. And Luffy's just aghast, like, was that a laser beam saber? That's awesome! Bonnie says this is a scrap heap, so it's full of remains of Vegapunk's inventions. We could use these. My point is, it's murder in the name of science. Bonnie ages back to normal and we get an ass shot as she hooks the saber onto her belt, saying, my father told me that he was from a special people? Special people. Wonder what that means. She continues, but so what? That doesn't give them the right to force experiments on him. It does give the it doesn't give them the right to kill him. And Luffy says, yeah, you tell him, as he's changed back to normal. But Chopper questions, special people? And of course we cut away, picking up with Team Sunny being carried by Lilith and the giant robot from before, rocketing skyward, with the Straw Hats saying, whoa, we're flying, the robot is flying through the sky. And Lilith says, the Vega Force 01 here uses its jet boosters on the back for propulsion and floats using anti-gravity. The Straw Hats say, anti-gravity? Lilith says, it's only possible because of the island's air conditioning, but one day it'll be reality all over the world. Usopp looks down at the city of Egghead, seeing the same sight Luffy and the others did, but from an aerial view, saying, hey, there's a giant monster down there. What's the deal with this futuristic city? Lilith simply says with a smile, that's correct. This is the island where we build the future. Whoa, the giant egg we saw before. There's an entire, almost civilization in it. Oh, this is gonna look wicked animated. Lilith says as they fly up to the egg lab, whatever. Future Island Egghead. Atop the cloud is the Labophase, where the research happens, where we make the milkshakes. Below is the Fabrio phase. Labo and Fabrio. The factory level. The workers and researchers live there. Seems like your captain is causing a fuss down below. And the Straw Hats just say, well, at least he's alright. Okay, so at least they know that Luffy is down there somewhere. And as some of the Straw Hats disembark, Usopp calls back, aren't you coming, Zoro and Brook? Zoro says, I'm on ship watch. Brook says, me too. Zoro is one thing, but Brook? Odd. Zoro says, I don't trust that woman anyway. And Brook seems to agree. It's not used to Brook being one not too interested in adventure. And the Straw Hats, well, mostly Usopp, Nami, Sanji, and Frankie are bouncing on the ground, while Robin just walks behind, with Usopp saying, whoa, the ground is Sky Island? Man, I remember this. I think Nami says, man, I remember this. Or maybe it's Sanji. And Frankie says, is that what this is? First time for me. What is this stuff? Yeah, Frankie, it would be the first time for Frankie. Man, we could have at least known if Brook had ever been to a Sky Island now. Lilith says, yes, well deduced. By perfectly controlling the island's air systems, we can modify the density of pyrobline and moisture in the condensation of nuclei, thus recreating island clouds and sea clouds from Sky Island. And the Straw Hats just say, we didn't deduce that at all. Wow, so they've made an artificial Sky Island. What the hell? And then we get to the entrance to the lab, with Lilith just showing it off. Frankie goes running up saying, it's bold! Lilith says, you'll have to change into research suits before you enter. The Trencos is just to the side. That's the changing area. Be careful, guys. You might have to pay for it. Lilith tells him, stick your feet into the Dom shoes and push the lever down yourself. They'll shrink down to fit any foot. The Straw Hats say they look heavy. No, they're not. Ooh, baby. Nice. Oh, man. I'm actually loving that fit on Usopp. And leave it to Sanji to end up in shorts somehow. And, once again, are Nami and Robin not wearing pants? Why do females never seem to have pants? Usopp calls out, whoa, this future suit's got me so hyped. Nami says, it's so light and cute. And Sanji got the Jinbei treatment as he says, my top just looks like an Aloha shirt. Nami says, but it's all okay because Sanji says, but it's all okay because Nami and Robin look so good. Nami says, I've never seen fashion like this before. While Usopp turns to Robin and says, nice outfit, Robin, you look tough. And Robin just flexes saying, I do? And she does look kind of tough. I'm interested to see these outfits colored. Because it's just like, are these like skin-tight suits? Or are we seeing a lot more skin than we think we're seeing? Because, I mean, a few more lines on Usopp and I'd be questioning his modesty right now. And Frankie over there flexes says, what about me? Sanji just dismisses him saying, you look like a perv in any outfit. And Frankie just says, stop it, you're making me blush. We then pick up further in with Shaka talking to someone saying, being a genius means being able to see even what your own future contains. The person says, What do you mean, Vegapunk? Shaka says, I suspect that my death is imminent. Oh, so he kind of predicted that at some point the world government was going to end their uses for him. The person says, stop telling bad jokes, they're not funny. Oh, and Shaka says, I wanted you to hear me out, dragon. Okay, whoa. We are getting a lot going on here. Okay, so I guess this will be the Sanji grouping is about to meet Vegapunk. Got some cool, nice outfits. I can't wait for the toys for this one to come out. I just honestly want to see most of this in color. Like, that's one of the things about certain outfits that it's just like, okay, what is this? What if this is spandex and what if this is skin? Those shoes are kind of cool, though. I wonder if something's going to happen with Zoro and Brook staying behind, though. Will they encounter anyone dangerous or what? And Bonnie's still on the warpath, so I do have to wonder. And not to mention, if Vegapunk knows that Luffy and the others are down there, it's just like, yo, call off your attack dog, bruh. I would like Bonnie to clarify some of what Jinbei said, because she's not denying too much of it. And she says that her father was not a tyrant and he hated the world government. So, but how did he end up being experimented on? What was it that had him work as a warlord for them? I don't know. I'm waiting for some answers, man. Bonnie's power really is very good for being incognito then. Good stuff. And I wonder, is this the last page of the cover story? Because I mean, we've straight up intersected with everything we could have found out. But this clash between Law and Blackbeard, it might be at an end because, I don't know, that whole black vortex thing. I don't know, man. We ended it with a major clash last time with Ace, too, so. But at least now we didn't see Law's hat lying ominously on the ground, so who knows. But that was a great fight. And to see that Sachi and Penguin are great when it comes to underwater combat, good stuff, good stuff. And John Bart, he just acts as a freaking tank. Gadoosh! This was a cool fight. Like, I'm so glad, because it's just like, oh no, it doesn't seem like they'll be that capable. No, they should full-on capability. I am happy to be wrong about how that fight with the Heart Pirates went down. Then again, there's always the possibility that next chapter we see them completely laid out on the floor. But man, wouldn't it be wild if Pudding is saved by the Heart Pirates and just joins up with them, and she ends up being able to show them what the poneglyphs say or something like that? That'd be wild. Unless Kuzan shows up, then it's gonna be an issue. Man, Kuzan, man, wild stuff, wild stuff. This was a packed chapter. Dense. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. What was your favorite part? What revelation was the most interesting to you? But also remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on the next video. But until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you, Swabby, in the next video. Yarr! And bye-bye.